Hey, how are you? It has been so long. It's been months, years, I don't even know, but I hope that you are healthy and I hope you are safe. I have new digs here, so this is going to be a bit of a work in progress. I don't know if it's going to look right or sound right, or there'll be 47 edits in the first minute of this video, but we're trying something new, and I'm bringing us back to Killing Whiskey history with 1950s King's Ransom Mafia whiskey. William Whiteley was fired from his first spirits job because of his dealings with shady characters. But that was fine with him. He started his own company and got into business with the Mafia crime boss, Frank Costello. Yes, Frank Costello of the Meyer Lansky Bugsy Siegel fame. Working with Costello, Whiteley was able to get his scotch into America during Prohibition. And his two best known brands were House of Lords and King's Ransom, which he started in 1928. In 1933, Whiteley also bought Edradour Distillery and allegedly used that malt in the products going forward. In 1938, Whiteley got out of the business, turning it over to Irving Haim, another one of Frank Costello's business associates. And it is alleged that the Mafia continued to receive a cut of King's Ransom sales all the way up until 1976. Pernod Ricard bought the brand in 1982 and closed it down sometime before 1989.
It's time to date our bottle of Mafia Scotch. Let's go backwards in time. The alcohol is measured in proof, not ABV, which sets this 1989 or earlier. The liquid volume is detailed in quarts, not milliliters, which puts this 1979 or earlier. The key to sorting out the bottling year of this whiskey comes from the Missouri tax stamp. The Missouri tax stamp lists the state director of revenue and the state's supervisor of liquor control. The signature for Mount Etna Morris, his real name, is listed for the director of revenue. The signature for Hollis M. Ketchum is listed for the supervisor of liquor control. Hollis M. Ketchum was the supervisor of liquor control from 1953 to 1965. Mount Etna Morris was director of revenue multiple times, but his service overlapped that of Ketchum's between 1957 and 1961. Each end of the federal tax stamp shows the bottle's liquid measurement. Here, it's 4/5 of a quart. This type of tax stamp existed from 1944 to 1960. Taking into account the dates of their service and the federal tax stamp, this bottle of whiskey arrived in Missouri somewhere between 1957 and 1960.
So now it's time to open up this 1950s King's Ransom. I see the cork. It sees me. Okay, I'm going to pour some whiskey into the Glencairn glass, and then I'm going to pour some whiskey into the blender's glass. One of the things I like about this new setup is that I'm on my feet. I'm not crouching behind a table of any sort. I am up and I am caffeinated, and let's try this whiskey. King's Ransom, bottled in the 1950s. There's pine, there's tar, there's anise. A portion of this is indeed peated, but it's not like today's Isla peat. It reads a little bit like hot concrete or hot asphalt or tar in the summer. Get a lot of apple peels too, and fresh apricots. I'm getting more nuts and more chocolate in this glass. My nose gets a better read with this compared to this. I like that the apple peels and apricot work their way up with time. One of the really good things about this era of King's Ransom is that it was bottled at 47% alcohol. This wasn't 40 or 43. This was given a big wallop of alcohol. Time to give it a try. 1950s King's Ransom. Cilantro. Ooh. Yeah, it's still a bruiser. This King's Ransom, doesn't have a whole lot of old bottle effect. So I feel like I'm getting close to what this actually tasted like 60, 70 years ago. It has this really intensely earthy note. You have soil and roots and dried leaves, but a little bit of sweetness. There's a very interesting back and forth between sweet citrus and tart citrus, like little clementine oranges and tart lemons. There's a little back and forth going on. I like it. It has a real scope to it. There you have your bitterness, your tanginess, your tartness, your sweetness, a little bit of metal, a little bit of earth, a little bit of stone, a little bit of that tar note in the nose. I'm going to take one sip from this blender's glass, and I'm going to try something a little different. Tastes the same as it does in the other glass. Fat bottom tumbler with some cubes. Close your eyes if you're easily offended. Cheers. Gotta say, it doesn't lose even a smidgen of its strength and power, even on the rocks. I am really, really enjoying this. So some final thoughts on this. When it's neat, it first sort of teases you like you're getting this heavy winter whiskey, with big flavors and big smells and lots of strength. But as you drink it and let it settle into your palate, let the finish roll through, its fruitiness reads like something you can drink in any season. And when you put it on the rocks, I think this is fantastic for summer or spring. What I guess I'm saying is, if you have a bottle of King's Ransom, open it up and enjoy it at any time. Papa! Sounds like my time is up.